Okay, so I'm building a breech plug for my white 45 caliber muzzleloader. See what I've got so far. I've got it threaded. I'm just getting ready to drill for the 1/4 28 nipple. This is going to be one of the replaceable nipple style breech plugs. You can see up to the red indicator fluid here. You know, that's the actual dimension of the plug. I plunged in with a cutoff tool at 911 thousandths, which is what this is going to be total overall. I've got my drill bit in, I've got it zeroed. Right there should be 0. So I'm going to cut in 950, which should get me not quite through with the shoulder, you know, the front 27-degree angle of the bit or whatever that is there. But it should give it so when I cut it off, it falls off the breech plug first and not doesn't leave a little burr on it. So I'm going to go ahead and drill this to 950 thousandths deep. Threads turned out great. Just doing this on my little grizzly lathe. You see those are nice. That's as far as I can zoom in, but that's the threads look good. And I measured over wires, and they are in spec. Measurements over the wires, I think, was 635/4 to 6. There's about 5 thousandths there, and I was about 634, so I'm about a thou and a half in spec on the thread. On the large side, which I'd rather have this the thread's a little larger than a little smaller. This will be the second one of these I've made. Actually the third. The second one I didn't leave quite enough shoulder, and I'm not comfortable with sticking a socket on. I left about 125 thousandths for the shoulder up here where I'm going to turn a hex on it in the mill to get a 1/2 inch socket on it. Wasn't comfortable with that short of a shoulder on that. Anyway, I'll show that a little bit later, but now I'm going to go ahead and shut off the camera now and go ahead and drill it to 950 thousandths deep, and then we'll pick it up at that point. Okay, so we've got our hole drilled for the 1/4 28 thread, which is the number 3 drill bit, 950 thousandths deep. Let me show you how I came up with the 950 thousandths deep, or how I hit that accurately. So I take a feeler gauge, I don't know if you can see that, 30 thousandths feeler gauge. This is going to be hard to do with holding the camera. And so what I'll do is I'll take this out to 900. So there's my 1 inch right there. See that, it just showed up. And we're at 0 on the wheel. We'll back up 1 full turn. That's back to 0. We're at 900. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, yeah, 900. So what I'll do is I'll put this feeler gauge in here. See if I can do this with my elbow. Push the tailstock up until we touch. Yeah. Okay, it's going to be really difficult. Let's move the carriage back and we'll see if we can get it to help us out here. Move up until we touch. And then we're going to go 30 thousandths less than 1 inch. So, sorry about my finger being in the way. should have pressure on it now. So we're going to go to 70, which will be 30 thousandths less. Which is right there. And we're going to lock it down. Back up and let the feeder gauge drop out. And when we move back up to 0, the tip of that drill bit will be exactly at the end of that part. So we're back to 0. I went one too far. Okay, so there we're at 0. There we're at 1 inch. And there, the end of that drill bit is exactly on the end of that part. So that's how I hit the hole dimensions I want to hit. Anyway, we're drilled all the way through there, so let's back this up. And let me grab the breech plug and show you what I'm doing here, and we'll do the next step. Okay, so here's the style of breech plug I'm building right here. It's just got a regular nipple in it, and you can see the flats on that. It's not very long. I'm not comfortable trying to get a hold of that with a socket when this thing gets stuck in the gun. If I forget to pull it after I've shot 3 or 4 times, crack it and then tighten it back up, they seem to get stuck. And they can be kind of a bear to get out. Sometimes you have to use an impact on them to get them out of there. So I want that shoulder a little bit longer, so it's a little bit stronger. The center hole is just a touch under 400 thousandths on the plug itself, not on the nipple. The nipple's much smaller than that. And I can get on that with a regular nipple wrench, holding the hex side with an end wrench and snug that nipple into there. And once I go, a little bit deeper with that shoulder like I am now, it's going to be tough to get a nipple wrench on there, so I may have to build a special nipple wrench to fit down into there to pull the nipple out for cleaning the breech plug. And then I drill into it with a round end mill and try and get as close as I can to the face of the breech plug, or of the nipple itself. It's kind of hard to see that, but that's a little bit short. It came out to 500 thousandths deep to hit the end of the nipple, and I didn't allow for the radius on the end mill, so I'm probably about 30 thousandths short of being flush, which is no big deal. Pull it out of there and soak it in some Windex. It's pretty easy to clean up. So the way I'm going to bore that little hole is I use an end mill, a small end mill in my boring tool, and I've touched off against the part. Right there's touched off, and we're 4/10, zero it again. I zeroed it once, but it seems to want to move a little bit on me, and there's 4 thousandths difference, 6 thousandths difference. 0.04 negative, 0.04 negative, 0.04 negative, so we'll zero it one more time. Okay, so the recess in this, for the plug to come out the right length, has got to be 215 thousandths deep and 400 thousandths in diameter. So let's back up just a little bit here with the tool and move over till we're right there. We go in. So we're going to go into about 20 thousandths deep. and just come over till we touch. And then we'll set the DRO at the diameter of a number 3 drill bit, which is, where are we at, quarter 28, 213 thousandths. So as soon as we touch off, we'll set a DRO at 213. We'll go to about 350, then we'll mic it and see where we're at and make any adjustments we need to on the DRO at that point. So I'm gonna set you in my patented sheet metal tripod here, 2 pieces of sheet metal bent with a dial indicator stand, holding them down. And that looks pretty centered there. So go ahead and fire the lathe up and come in till we just touch. Okay, right there, we're just starting to take some material. So so I'm going to set the Z-axis on the DRO. Z, we go 0.215. Enter. So there's 215 thousandths. So now we're going to back out just a little bit, come out of there, and we're going to take 10 thousandths cut. Should be 20 thousandths on the DRO, so that'd be 235. Right there. Kick the mill on, we're going to go to 215 thousandths deep. Actually, I'm going to go to 213 because the very last cut I'll go back to, I'll pull across at 215 so that face is absolutely flat for that nipple to seal against. So 170. 180, 190, 200, 210, 11, 12, 13. Back out. And then another 10, 255. Cut it again to 213. You can see that cutting, but that little end mill makes a great small hole boring tool. If you're not going very deep. If you're going very deep, you want to use a reamer. Another 10, comes at 275. Another 10, so it's put us at 295. 10 thousandths cut, taking 20 thousandths overall. We're heading for 400. Well, would be 295 and 20 would be 315. Thousandths cut, 335. Too far. 335 right there. Going along. Put us at 355. Went to 356, 355.8 anyway. Again. Back out of it to 3558. Come back to 3558. Shut the lathe off. Back to 3558. 352345. 3558. Okay, now we're going to grab the inside micrometer, take a reading. Okay, so there we have, you can see that, 352. Just a touch under, so we're 351.8. So my tool's not exactly on center, which isn't going to really matter because we're cutting good and we're going to adjust it here. So go out of it. So yeah, 352. But we're not quite to the 2. We're actually about 0.6. So we're going to go to 0 that and put in 3516. So there we go, 3516. We're going to cut it up to about 395 and then check it again. So 351.6 plus 2371. Oh shit, I didn't hit enter. Gosh damn it, I did not hit the enter key after I punched that number in, and I just moved the lathe. So we're going to touch off. About 20. Okay, there we just touched. We'll get on there. We'll go 20. There's a 371. 71.8. Put some oil on that. Cut it again at 213. So 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 371.8. Back to roll that up. Shut the lathe off, come back to 371.8. There's 70. 1, 2, 4, 6, 8. So 371.8. Let's mic it again. Okay, so we're $369, but we're not quite to 9. So 368, we'll call that about 6. So let's see again, 0.3. 3686. Enter. Listen for the beep. We got it. Okay, this next cut we're going to be 388. Go to 213 deep again. Okay, we're at 389. Back out a little bit. Pull out of there. Blow it out. Come back to 389. Okay, there's 389. Mic it again.